Hey, it's Jonathan. I want to show you what I think the fastest, easiest way, and probably my favorite way because of its simplicity, is to start collecting testimonials. So I'm going to show you how to set it up, and I'm going to show you how to use Service Autopilot for part of the process. So I think the best way to start collecting testimonials is to set up a Google Voice account when you're speaking with a client. They just signed up and they're really excited, or you just provided exceptional service. They just gave you a glowing praise. That's when you say, hey, would you mind recording what you just said for me? Or would you mind saying this or that, or whatever the case may be? And then you give them a telephone number. They call that telephone number and they basically restate what they just said to you. Now, you could get a little more in depth and you could say, well, could you say it this way or that way? But I personally think the easiest thing to do is when they give you something that's just perfect, say, would you mind saying that all over again and recording that? And you just say, call this phone number and leave exactly what you just said on that message. And then after that, what you do is you get a picture of their home. Ideally, picture of their home's like last resort in my mind. The best thing is to get a picture of them. The very best thing is to get a picture of you at their property, commercial or residential, standing right next to them, and have a picture of you and that and your client together in the same picture. So then what you do is that, and I'm about to demonstrate it, they can leave up to a 3-minute message on Google Voice. I'm going to show you how to set up Google Voice. So the testimonial in this case would be short, which that's good. Longer testimonials will be great in video and such. You're going to do a mix of different testimonials over time. This is the easiest way. You set up a free Google Voice account. I'm going to show you how. They call the number you give them. They leave a 3-minute message, testimonial. You can take that message. It converts to an MP3 file, which is easy to work with. You can take those and easily post them on your website or easily do all kinds of different things with them. So this is easy. And then when they send you the picture, they can email you their picture, or next time you're at your house, at their house, you can snap a picture with them, or you could even be at their house and they give you this great testimony. You say, oh, would you mind calling this number? You could even hand them your cell phone and say, would you mind calling the number and saying exactly what you just said to me? And then right there while you're with them at their property, get a picture together, or at least get a picture of them. And then what you do is you upload that to your website and you upload the picture to go with it. Just super easy, high believability. It's a picture, it's audio, and it's most anybody would believe that testimonial. So here's how you do it. I'm logged into my Google account, so you can just see I'm logged into Google right here. I could go into Gmail. The easiest way I know to do this, I think you could probably drop down more. Probably if you clicked more, even more here, you could go find voice. But here's the easiest way to do this. Just type voice.google.com right there. And you can see I'm already on the page. And then just say, I want a new number. This is my recommendation. So I'm in Plano, so I'm going to use 972. And I can hit search, and it's going to go find 972 numbers. If you want to play around with it and see if there's any good numbers that, like for example, I like numbers that end with zeros. There I've got, well, it's not perfect, but I've got a number here, 972-630-0004. I like that. That's an easy number. And then I would just hit continue. That's nice. Let's try a different one. I could just pick this and then hit, and you can see you can scroll here. But you get the gist instead of me going through that. And then basically what you do is as soon as you find the number you want, you take it and it'll sign you up for that number. Okay, so that's easy. Once you're signed up for that number, it may call your cell phone to verify the number, which is no big deal. And so you'll end up with a settings screen. So you'll end up with some kind of a settings screen. So let me toggle over to, let's see if I can toggle over to a real Google Voice account. Okay, here's a real Google Voice account right here. So once you're inside your Google Voice account, right up here, there's this little gear bar. If you click Voice Settings. Now, by the way, what's going to happen here is when you first sign up, it's going to ask you all these questions anyway. So you'll be walked through the process. So just set up your Google Voice account. Now, one of two things are going to happen. It's going to call your cell phone or your work phone to verify this account. When it does, record a message. Okay? Second, if that doesn't happen, then you can record your message right here with speakers. So if you'll just play around in here, settings, go to settings and just play with these options right here. You can see everything you can set up. So here's my recommendation. All right, so if you can see my screen here, let me move this up. Okay, notice here you can record your message. So I've got this going, pointing over to a Service Autopilot account, but I want to show you a couple things. If you go to calls, set this to right here. Turn off. This is by default set to ask unknown callers to say their name. Turn that off. And then right here where it says enable do not disturb, click that. And then you're going to set it to, like I'll show you, I'd set it to like, here you go. I'm going to set it to 365 days to do not disturb. What's going to this is going to do is it's going to force messages to go straight to voicemail. So it won't ring your phone, like it won't forward to your personal phone. It will go straight to Google Voice voicemail. All right. So that's all you've got to do is set that up. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. So now here's something else you can do. Over here inside Service Autopilot, remember I said that you could be there with the client and you could say, hey, this is perfect. Would you mind leaving a voicemail and recording that? Something else you could do is use Service Autopilot under Settings. You can go down here to Document Templates. Click Add Document. And then what you're going to do is pick the document type of client. So we're creating a template in the system. And this would be called testimonial. And you could give it a description. And you could give it an email subject. Okay, so I'm not going to set all this up. I just want to point this out. And then what you can do is you can write hi. And let's personalize this with your client's name. Let's use their first name. So here's where I'm going with this. Create a document template in the system that asks your client for a testimonial and tells them exactly what to do. So for example, my testimonial line is 265-9002. That's for Service Autopilot. So if you call this number, it's going to give you basically exactly what I'm just showing you to set up. This is it right here. So in my letter to them, I would say, email to them, I'd say, here's the number to call. Here's kind of what to say, or however you want to word this. Where I'm going with this is inside Service Autopilot, pre-write a testimonial email. That way, if you're on the phone with the client and they say something great, and you say, hey, could you call this number and record it? As soon as you hang up the phone, all you've got to do, because you've pre-written this, is go over here. In fact, let me save this just so I can show you. I'm just going to do something silly. I'm not going to fill this out completely. I'm going to save this. Okay, so I'm going to save it. So then if I go to my client screen, next time I'm on the phone with the client, and so I'm here talking to Ron, and next time Ron says something great, I'm just going to hit Email Client right here. I clicked Edit Client. It would help if I clicked Email. Let's do that again. I'm going to click Email Client. And I'm just going to go right down here and I'm going to double click Testimonial. It's going to fill out my letter. And I should have put in my subject. And then I would just hit Send and it would blast this email out. Now when it goes out, whatever's in brackets here is going to be substituted. So this would say, hi Ron. It would personalize it. And if I had built this email out correctly, it'd have a whole paragraph written out with the phone number. And at the bottom it would say, thanks. And back over there under the template, I would have inserted my username, so which is your first name. I would have inserted that back over there under the template. So this would have made more sense, but my point was just to quickly demonstrate how you could use this. You could set up a pre-written letter and teach your whole team that anytime they get a great comment from the client, ask for the testimonial. The moment they hang up the phone, send out an email to remind them and give them specific instructions of exactly what to do so they don't forget to do it. So back here to Google Voice. If you want to see this in action, because it really works, call this number right here. That's my Service Autopilot number. Call that number and you'll hear exactly what I say on the message, which is exactly what you might want to say on your message, and then leave us a testimonial just like you're going to have your clients do. Leave us a service autopilot testimonial. You'll hear my message, we'll tell you what to say, and then when we get your testimonial, we'll email you, send us a picture, and we'll use it. My point is that, one, if you like us and you're happy with us, it'll give us an opportunity to capture a testimonial from you. Two, you'll see the entire process, so that hopefully benefits both of us, but you'll see the exact process we go through, and then copy our exact process in your company and start doing it with your clients. So call my number right now, 972-265-9002. You'll hear my message. Leave a testimonial up to 3 minutes, and then watch what happens after you leave us the testimonial. And basically, you can copy our exact process. This is how you do it. Thanks.